Welcome, cadets, to CAP 2022. My name is Captain Dave Fowler, and I am the Padre for RCSU Central. What I will be sharing with you in this briefing in the next few moments is both classified and top secret. We have been infiltrated by one of our greatest adversaries, the invasive livestock. This threat has managed to obtain the highest of security documents by gaining access to the office of the commanding officer of RCSU Central. From there, the invasive livestock downloaded critical information to our operations, plans, and personnel of the cadet program in Ontario. This threat must be stopped. We are still attempting to identify the invasive livestock, and any assistance you may be able to offer in terms of clues should be forwarded up the chain of command. I am now going to play for you surveillance footage that we have managed to capture of the invasive livestock, including the security breach into the commanding officer's office. Note any details that you can in the footage. Those details may be critical in stopping the invasive livestock. And now, the surveillance footage. Cadets, in order to help you to get the most out of your CAP and cadet experience, in this part of the briefing, we will be covering various tools to help keep you in top shape. Those tools include 1, self-care, 2, setting good goals, and 3, maintaining hope. All 3 will work together to help you maximize your CAP and cadet experience, as well as help you stay vigilant in our attempts to both identify and apprehend the invasive livestock. It is important to recognize that all of us will have from time to time an off day. When this happens, there are some simple things that you can do to help you recover your balance. In order to provide you the most timely and accurate information, I will now be asking our medical consultant, Dr. Mike Evans, to address you on this topic. Dr. Evans.
I'm Dr. Mike Evans. You know, sometimes you just have a crap day or a crap week, overwhelmed, sad, anxious, regretful. Of course, there's a million things we could talk about: depression, anxiety, problem solving, stress management, mindfulness, cognitive behavioral therapy. All good, but sometimes people just want to get through the day or week advice. And here's what I say. Just gear down and stick to the basics. For me, these are sleep, turn off the TV and go to bed, activity, go for a walk outside or whatever you do, get perspective, write a letter that you probably won't send, eat, make a great meal, go on a date. I'm not talking romantic, I'm thinking about hanging out with a friend. Social connectedness is so therapeutic and isolation is so insidious. Clean up your space a bit. If you have something to do that's tough, Do what the economists call temptation bundling. Do the tough thing and then bundle it with something that gives you simple pleasure. Go to an afternoon movie, read a book in a cafe, whatever works for you. I write a lot, and I'm always struck by how I think a piece is done. But when I give it a few days and come back to it, I have a refreshed clarity that makes simple edits easy. I think life is a bit like this. I don't really have a name for this, or a load of scientific evidence, but I do think our society is very busy. And sometimes we just need to give ourselves a break. Pause, self-care, take a breath. Thanks for listening.
Second, we want you to be familiar with a simple breathing technique that can be very effective at addressing feelings of stress. Prepare yourself to participate in the next few moments with a simple 4-minute controlled breathing exercise that will appear on this screen. The exercise is not difficult, but through abundant research, it has been shown to be very effective. Life can be stressful, but there are ways to deal with it, and this is one effective approach. The exercise will begin now.
To prepare, get in a comfortable position. Sitting would be best for now, so that you can practice as you listen and watch the demonstration. Later, when you practice, you can do this exercise sitting, standing up, or lying down, whatever works for you. Although this exercise should be safe for almost anyone, if you have difficulty breathing or feel out of breath, or begin to feel dizzy, nervous, or out of control, you can adjust your breathing pace or go back to breathing normally. The goal is just to slow down a bit to allow your system to relax. Place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Breathe in by taking air deep into your belly. Allow your belly to expand out while your shoulders and chest stay relaxed. Now breathe out slowly, allowing the air you exhale to deflate your belly. Pause naturally. Breathe in, taking air deep into your belly. Allow your belly to expand, shoulders and chest stay relaxed. Now breathe out, slowly, but naturally. Breathe in, taking air deep into your belly. Think the number 1. Now exhale all of the air and think the word relax. Breathe in, taking air deep into your belly, and think the number 2. Now exhale all of the air and think the word relax. Breathe in, think the number 3. Now exhale, think the word relax. Breathe in, think the number 4. Now breathe out slowly. Think the word relax. Breathe in. 5. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. 6. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. 7. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. 8. Breathe out. Relax. Counting backwards now. Breathe in. 8. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. 7. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in, slowly, deeply. Think the number 6. Breathe out, slowly, all the way. Relax. Breathe in. 5. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. 4. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Focus on your breath and the number 3. Breathe out. All the way. Relax. Breathe in. 2. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in for the last time. Think the number 1 and breathe out. Relax. Good job. Even as you end this exercise, you can continue to allow your breathing to be deeper and slower. Take your time as you open your eyes and bring your attention back to your surroundings.
Over 100 years ago, the great psychologist William James said, "Our greatest weapon against stress is choosing one thought over another." It is important to remember that we always have the ability to choose what we will say to ourselves. 3,000 years ago, an ancient sage wrote, "As a person thinks in their heart, so are they." What you tell yourself is critically important. If you tell yourself that you are unable to face a challenge, then you will likely feel overwhelmed. But if you tell yourself, "I've got this," then you will likely have great confidence. If you begin your day optimistically, saying, "What will I learn today?" then you will be constantly learning and developing. I encourage you to start off your morning routine saying to yourself positive statements. Remember, your training as a cadet is enabling you to approach life more successfully. You are learning skills and building friendships and developing your leadership capacity with each new training activity. I encourage you in the use of the following statements. I have the skills to handle this. I am human. I can make mistakes. No one is perfect. I can always ask for help. I can always learn new things. This is another challenge that I will figure out. Focus on these statements. The Canadian Forces asks all of its members to exercise. We do this not only to stay in physically top shape, but also because it increases our productivity in life and helps us to deal with stress. Once again, I'm going to ask our medical consultant, Dr. Mike Evans, to address you on this important topic of exercise. Dr. Evans.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Evans. Now, I think most of us know that exercise is good for you, which is true, but another big reason to be active that we don't often talk about is productivity. When we begin our day and think we only have so many hours and so much on our to-do list, it seems counterintuitive to fill up part of the day with doing something other than working. Well, the data shows this thinking is wrong. The data shows regular exercise is part of your job. And by exercise, I don't necessarily mean going to the gym for an hour. As little as 10 minutes of activity counts, and you can do it just about anywhere, like getting off the bus to stop early, walking to lunch, having a walking meeting, walking while on the phone, or taking the stairs. Okay, let's dig a little deeper into the science. Let's start with a group that are marked on their achievement every year, our kids. Many recent reviews have shown that increased physical activity improves cognitive performance and academic achievement. Not to mention when we follow kids for other issues that affect productivity, so self-esteem, anxiety, depression levels, sense of social well-being, all of these improve with activity. So just like the kids' grades improve when we drop activity into their day, the same is true for adults. The science shows exercise improves concentration, memory, accelerates learning, enhances creativity, and lowers stress. Let's look at that last one, stress. That's a big roadblock for productivity. Exercise reduces stress in a number of ways. So, chemically, exercise reduces the level of the body's stress hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol. It also stimulates the production of endorphins, chemicals in the brain that reduce pain and elevate mood. We also see behavioral changes. As you increase your fitness and your strength and stamina increase, your self-image can also improve. You'll learn a sense of mastery and control and self-confidence. We call this self-efficacy, our belief in our ability to do things. And this is a critical skill for productivity. Now, this is an emerging area of study, mostly self-report data. So, for example, one study looking at 200 employees of 3 different companies in the southwest of England compared the workers' output on days they exercised versus not. And on days they were more active, they reported managing their time better, being more productive, having better interactions with colleagues, and more satisfaction at the end of the day. Another trial in Sweden, where 2.5 hours of their 40-hour work week were devoted to exercise, showed similar results. Workers reported that they got more done at work, had a greater work capacity, and were sick less often. To summarize, physical activity, even in 10-minute bursts, will not only help you be more productive, it'll also contribute to what the scientists call subjective well-being, kind of their word for happiness. So what's stopping you? It's time to put a smile on your face, get moving, and go be more productive. Ready, set, let's up and go. Thanks for listening.
You are never alone in the cadet program. There is always someone to talk to, including other cadets and your staff. Never be afraid to reach out to others for help. Talk to someone. Connect for support. There's always someone who can give you a hand. Years ago, a man by the name of Norman Cousins was diagnosed with a terrible disease for which there were very limited options. He took the step of reaching out to a colleague to ask for help. His colleague was the host of a reality TV show called Candid Camera, the forerunner of America's Funniest Videos. The host, a man by the name of Alan Funt, sent to Norman Cousins numerous back episodes. Norman Cousins watched them hour after hour and laughed and eventually laughed himself back to health. He wrote a book about it called The Anatomy of an Illness. Research has shown that your mental state has a huge impact on your physical well-being. Neuroscientist and physician Andrew Newberg notes in his book, How God Changes Your Brain, that even certain practices often promoted by certain religious traditions, such as simply choosing to smile, activates neural pathways through your emotional centers of your brain. If you choose to smile, look at people or pictures of individuals smiling, you will activate neural pathways that will cause you to feel better. So smile. It will help you feel better. The following video is intended to remind you of this physiological and psychological principle.
Lost your way, lost your cool, then you straight up lost your mind. Tried so hard to stay ahead, but you keep falling behind. Life is gonna pull you down, make it hard to see, but a little change in your point of view could be just what you need. There's always a reason to always choose joy. There's something deeper that the world can't destroy. Smile when you think you can't. Smile, get up and dance. Smile, there's a bigger plan. The storm only lasts for a while, so smile. Happiness is wonderful, but it doesn't stick around. Walking on sunshine, then here come the clouds. You can laugh or you can cry when it all falls apart, but I believe the more you laugh, the more you heal the heart. There's always a reason to always choose joy. There's something deeper that the world can't destroy. Smile when you think you can't. Smile, get up and dance. Smile, there's a bigger plan and you've got to reach.
Life should be goal-orientated. When you're moving towards a specific goal, it focuses your energy and your effort. What makes a laser beam so effective? It's effective because it is focused and concentrated energy. In a similar way, having SMART goals helps you to achieve in the cadet program and in life. What is a SMART goal? A SMART goal has these characteristics that spell the word SMART. First, it must be specific. A nebulous goal will lead to unfocused effort. A specific goal will lead to focused effort. I want to feel better is unfocused. I will walk every day as exercise is specific. Second, it must be measurable. I will do some exercise every day is not very measurable. I will walk for 15 minutes every day is measurable. Third, it must be attainable. I will complete a marathon tomorrow without having prepared for it is not very attainable. I will walk for 15 minutes every day around my neighborhood is attainable. 4, it must be realistic. I will start from scratch and be an Olympic contender by next week is not realistic. I will walk for 15 minutes every day around my neighborhood to improve my health and well-being is realistic. And finally, your goals need to be timely. Trying to do 15 minutes of walking 5 minutes before supper is terrible time management. I will walk for 15 minutes every day around my neighborhood to improve my health and well-being after supper is timely. In time, you can always adjust your goals and challenge yourself with new and higher goals. Just remember, make them SMART. The final point in our briefing is the importance of maintaining hope. What is hope? Hope is a preferred future. It is often something that has not yet been achieved, but something that we are striving for and working towards. As developing leaders, that greatest gift that you can give to others is hope. The conviction that while something preferred has not yet happened, it eventually will. Dr. Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychiatrist who was interned in a Nazi prisoner of war camp in World War II, reflecting on that experience in a book he wrote called Man's Search for Meaning, noted that in that prisoner of war camp, there were two types of people, those who lived and those who died. The difference, he noticed, was that those who lived had a positive hope about the future. As developing leaders, it is your calling to provide a sense of hope for those around you and for those that you lead, helping them to have hope about the future, about their future. In a moment, you will see a video of a speech delivered by retired Navy Admiral William McRaven. In the speech, he will talk about the importance of setting and achieving small, but realistic and attainable goals. He will talk about overcoming adversity, about teamwork, about respecting everyone around you, and most of all, he will talk about hope. Speeches like this remind us of what is important. And all the best to you in CAP 2022 and in your coming training year.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully briefed the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and 1 special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.